morning everyone, and a very happy Friday to you all. So for today's session, all you're actually going to need is the cord from a dressing gown or a belt, or you could easily use like a broomstick or anything that's just about this length, so about as wide as your arm's length. Now, starting off, I would probably get you to be in a high kneeling position if it is comfortable to be up high on your knees like this. If you would prefer to be standing, if it's uncomfortable to kneel, that's absolutely fine. Alternatively, you can sit in a chair, just making sure that you're sitting up nice and tall. So starting off with, we're just going to go into some nice breathing. But what I want you to do is to bring your arms, so to pull the strap taut or just hold your hands either end of the stick, keeping your chest nice and proud. And we're going to take a nice deep breath in as we bring the band or the stick up overhead. And exhale as you pull all the way back down, maintaining a little bit of tension through that band that you're holding on to. So inhale up overhead. And exhale all the way back down. Let's go 3 more here. Breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth. And 2 to go here, in through the nose, up overhead, and out through the mouth. And let's go 1 more here, in through the nose and out through the mouth here. Fantastic work. Now I'm going to come up so that the band is only at about shoulder height here. So I'm not going any higher than that. More about collarbones you should be lining up with. And now from here, I'm going to rotate from side to side. So I want you to make sure that your gaze is following the middle of the band. So you're not keeping your head central, looking straight ahead. You're actually rotating your neck as you move the rest of your spine. And I want you to actually imagine that you're wringing yourself out through your midsection. So you are really twisting and rotating through your spine to bring your body from side to side. Now, if it is uncomfortable for you to hold on to this strap, you can just cross your hands over your shoulders. So 1 hand on each shoulder and just twist from side to side. But we're just going to do 3 more here. So 3 and 2 and very last one here. Okay, now we're going to go into some lateral flexion. So I'll demonstrate first and then you can come and join me. So I've got my arms up overhead and now from here I'm going to allow one arm to pull me down a little further while the other arm right at the top is giving me stability to make sure that I don't go too far. So just leaning from one side over to the other. Now don't worry if you can't get as far as I can. I've been practicing this one beforehand. So you just move within the range that you're comfortable with. Bringing the little band or the tie from one side all the way over to the other. Now make sure that you're keeping your chest open and you're not leaning forwards to try and get more range. You really want to be stretching your body from one side all the way over to the other. This is a really nice movement for your spine, making sure that you're evenly load bearing on both knees, and you can do this standing or seated in a chair as well. One side all the way over to the other. And let's do 1 more here. One side, all the way over to the other. Just a little side note there. If you can't reach your arms all the way up overhead, it's absolutely fine just to do a little side reach from side to side while the arms stay hanging down by your sides. That's definitely an excellent movement to do, especially if you've had surgeries or any kind of injuries that have limited your shoulder range of motion. So that's an absolutely fine alternative. Okay, now we are going to go into a saw movement. So this is a classical Pilates movement. So what I'm going to get you to do is come onto your mat. Now you may be a little bit more comfortable sitting up on the edge of a pillow that will keep your pelvis up a little bit higher. If that's the case, that's absolutely fine. So just adding in, if you are using the pillow, just add it just beneath your sit bones. If not, bring your feet nice and wide. So you'll see my toes are out at each end of the computer frame here. And I'm going to sit up as tall as I possibly can and bring my arms up to a capital T. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to twist through my spine. So I'll demonstrate first, rotating as much as I can through my spine. And then I'm going to reach forward and imagine that I'm cutting my baby toe off with 3 little soaring pulses. And then I'm going to twist all the way over to the other side and soar, soar, soar. So I'm going to do 3 little pulses on each side and I'm going to alternate between the sides. So you've just got to imagine that you've got a little saw on the outside of your little finger, and with 3 little pulses you're going to saw your baby toe clean off. I know, a bit graphic for early in Friday morning, but when you're ready, come and join me. So we're going to twist through the spine and then exhale, Exhale, exhale. 3 little puffs of breath as you exhale. And exhale, exhale, exhale. Inhale up through the middle. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Try to maintain contact with your sit bones on the ground or on your towel as best as you can. Up through the middle and pulse, pulse, pulse. Good. We're going to do just a few more here. Pulse, pulse, pulse. Up through the middle. You see a little puppy face looking at me through the door there. And we're going to do one more to each side. And back up through the middle and over to the side for the last time. 3. Fantastic work. That is your saw all done. Now I'm just going to move the computer screen slightly so you can see me a little bit better for this next exercise. Okay, coming on to all fours here. Now, for this entire series, a number of you have mentioned that you really liked having an option to come down to your elbows. So I've listened to you all, and I think that we'll do this entire series being able to rest on the elbows here. However, I've got some really challenging options for you all. So with your elbows resting down on the mat here, we're going to come into a plank position. Now your plank can be up on your toes with your belly button drawn into your spine, or you can rest your knees down on the mat, or you can bring your knees right underneath your hip bones, just like that. It's up to you. That is the easiest option that I'm in now, and then you can take your knees a little further away for a little bit more of a challenging option. Now make sure that you don't look like a tent, so I don't want to see your bottom poking right up in the air. Try and draw your belly button into your spine so that your hips and knees and shoulders should be fairly well aligned. Maybe hips are just slightly higher. Then when you're ready, we're just going to hold this position to begin with. Now this might be enough for you, just resting on your forearms with your shoulder blades lifted. So make sure that you're not collapsing through there. Draw your belly button in, tuck your tailbone a little bit, and lift up between the shoulder blades. Now you can hold this if you'd like to for 30 seconds. Otherwise, I'm going to show you a little progression where we rock forwards and backwards. Forwards and backwards. So you'll see here my hips are coming up and down just a little bit, and my shoulder blades are moving up and down through their little homes. So just rocking back and forth. Now if you are on your toes, the movement will look like this, progressing back and forth, rocking more so on the toes. So we've only got 15 seconds to go here, rocking back and forth. Let's go for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest there. Fantastic work. Now you can take a rest completely if you need to and bring your knees all the way underneath you and sit your hips right back towards your heels. That is completely fine. Otherwise, when you're ready, we're going to go into a little bit more of a challenge in that plank position. So when you're ready, coming down so that your elbows are on the mat again, so forearms are down on the mat, and now we're going to rock the hips from side to side. So gently swiveling your hips from one side all the way over to the other. You're up right on those forearms, so you're not actually rotating the upper body much at all, and you're just allowing the hips to drift from one side of the mat all the way over to the other. So you should feel your oblique muscles, your core, your side abdominal muscles, I should say, really engaging to bring your hips from one side all the way over to the other. Let's go for 15 more seconds here in this little hip dip movement. Side to side. And 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and last one, and resting there. Fantastic work. Okay, bring your knees a little bit closer underneath your body now. Now from here, we're going to go into a glute exercise. So really draw your belly button into your spine, keeping your elbows directly underneath your shoulders. And I'll demonstrate first with my left leg. I'm going to take my left leg away from me. I'm going to lift that leg up so that it's in line with my body. Then I'm going to tap it over the other side of my right leg. Bring that leg back up high towards the ceiling again and lower that leg down. So that's the starting position here. My leg is straight, it lifts up and goes around and over in a little arc, returns back up towards the ceiling, and then lowers back down. So come and join me now. Straighten out through that long left leg to begin with, then lift up, over to the other side, back up to the ceiling, and lower down. And up, over to the side, back up to the ceiling, and lower that leg back down. Evenly load bearing through your forearms. Making sure that your hips aren't swiveling open. Oh my goodness, my little glutes. So tap right over to the side. Back up to the ceiling and lower down. Let's go 4 more. Up, over to the side, back up to the ceiling and lower down. Let's go 3 more. Up, over to the side, return it back up to the ceiling and lower down, and 2 to go. And over to the side, to the ceiling, and 1 more. Oh my goodness. Last one here, over to the side, back up to the ceiling and lower that leg back down. Fantastic work. Okay, we're going to go over to the other side now. So you can come up for a little rest if you need to. Otherwise, bring those elbows straight back down to the mat. And let's go now with this long right leg. It extends straight back behind us. We're going to bring that leg up, over towards the left side now, back up to the ceiling and lower that leg back down. All the while, I'm really drawing in through those abdominals. Up, over to the side, to the ceiling, lower back down. Let's go 8 more. Back to the ceiling, lower down, 7 to go. Draw that belly button in, really think about engaging through your bottom. 6 to go. To the ceiling and lower, 5 to go. Up, over to the other side, back up to the ceiling and lower back down. Let's go 4 more. Squeeze the bottom, up and over, back to the ceiling and lower down. Let's go 3 more. Long leg left, up and over, rest of the body stays still. Return down, 2 to go, up and over, back up to the ceiling and lower, and let's go 1 more here. Up, over to the side, back up to the ceiling and lower that leg down. Fantastic work. Now you can sit your hips all the way back towards your heels and enjoy a child's pose just for a moment. If that's too much for your lower back, just sit back a little bit with your arms reaching out long and straight and poke your hips up as high to the ceiling as you comfortably can. Okay, when you're ready now, come forward so that you're lying down flat on your mat. Now, we've done a very similar series of movements before, but this is so beneficial for opening up through your spine, especially if you have a little bit of a curvature through your upper back. So with this next movement here, really listen to your body for where you position your hands, because it is much easier for your body to position your arms further away from you. It's a much shorter lever for your spine to be lifting. So I like to take my hands a fair distance away from me if I'm looking to only lift up a little bit here. The hardest option is if you bring your hands all the way in next to your shoulders and lift right up here. So just play around for a moment and find a position that feels right for you. I'm going to choose somewhere in the middle for our nice long lift here. So I'll just take you through 1 repetition here, and then you can come and join me for a series. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my hands just in front of my shoulders here. I'm going to keep my chin tucked to my chest. And then from here, I'm going to squeeze my shoulder blades together first. So I'm thinking shoulder blades back and down. So shoulder blades draw towards your pelvis. Draw the belly button in. Take a breath in to prepare. And then exhale as you lift up, getting a nice stretch through your spine. Only lift up as far as you comfortably can without lower back pain. If you feel your lower back engaging, take your hands a little bit further away from you and only lift up within your comfortable range. Come with me for 10 repetitions now. Inhale to prepare through the nose. Exhale to press away from the mat. Inhale to lower back down. Exhale to push away. Good. Shoulders always back and down, away from your ears. Let's go 8 more. Exhale, push away. Inhale, lower back down. Think about engaging your bottom and drawing your belly button into your spine. Good. Let's go 6 more. Exhale, press away from the mat, shoulders back and down. Good. 5 to go. Chin tucked, shoulders back and down. Inhale, lower back down. Let's go 4 more. Exhale, push away. Inhale, lower back down. 3 to go now. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, push away. Inhale, lower back down. And 2 to go now. Exhale, push away. Should be feeling your arms working quite hard here too. And let's go 1 more for good luck. Exhale, push away. Take a deep breath. Look up towards the ceiling if it's comfortable. And then slowly lower all the way back down. Well done. Fantastic work. Coming. there's a blooper, coming up to sit right on your sit bones. So making sure that you're sitting up nice and tall on top of your sit bones to begin with, belly button draws into spine. Now from here, we're going to go into a little bit of a roll back series. So here I'm going to think about sitting up really tall to begin with shoulders back and down, and then I'm going to just tuck my tailbone slightly. So I don't want to shrink, I still want to stay really tall, but I'm just going to imagine that my spine is shaped like a capital C as I now peel down just a little, so a little vertebrae by vertebrae, and you'll see I'm like a nice little salad bowl as I peel down. I breathe in to prepare at the bottom, and then I exhale as I roll all the way back up into nice perfect posture. So I'm going to gently roll down as I exhale. Inhale at the bottom. Exhale to roll all the way back up into the seated position. Now this might be enough for you, just simply doing this movement here. So you are more than welcome to stay with this movement and come and follow me now. If you would like a little bit more of a challenging option, it is coming your way right now. So when you roll down, see if you can roll down and hold. Bring the arms up for a moment, bring them back down, and then roll back up. That is a much more challenging option, and it gets more and more challenging the further you roll down. So just move with your body with this series. We're going to be here for a minute. So gently roll down, draw the belly button into the spine. You can bring the arm lift up overhead, or you can simply just roll up and down. It's completely up to you, and it's your choice with this series of movements. Now, if you're feeling your lower back engaging a little bit, just don't roll down as far. Just move within a tiny little range and really focus on your breathing. And you do not have to bring in that overhead movement, remember. Rolling down, arms move up overhead. Now, you can either stay with this movement for the last 15 seconds and just keep doing what you're doing, or you can come and join me for one last little challenge. So if you're up for the challenge, come down with me now, peel down and hold, and now we're repetitively going to bring those arms up and down for 12 more seconds. So you've got now 10, 9, 8, really draw that belly button into your spine. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, oh my goodness, tummy. Last one, and rest there, coming all the way back up. And just give a little bit of a wiggle through your shoulders, so loosen up through that spine. Now you can use this next 30 seconds as a rest break if your tummy is quite fatigued. If not, see if you can clasp your hands into a little gun, and we're going to tap from one side all the way over to the other. So twisting through your spine, through your core, so really engaging through those tummy muscles, and keep an eye on your gun. Don't lose track of it as you twist from side to side. So really twist from one side all the way up and over to the other. We're only here for 15 more seconds. So tapping from one side over to the other. And just tap the little, what is it called, the nozzle? The top bit of your gun from one side to the other. If anyone knows their guns, please let me know in an email what the very top of it's called. You've got 3, 2, tip of your barrel maybe. Last one, and resting there. Fantastic work. Okay, those little abdominal movements are done. So now we're going to roll all the way down to lie on our back. Now this next series here, if you know that you've got hamstrings that are what I call very cranky hamstrings, just move very carefully with these next few movements. Don't go too gung-ho into them. I'll give you a demonstration of what we're going into. And I might just shift my heels a little bit closer. So a little tip with these ones is make sure your heels are not too far away. You want them fairly close to you as you go into this little hammy series now. So starting off, I'm going to just tilt my tailbone and lift my hips up towards the ceiling, and then I'm going to gently roll all the way back down. So it's just a simple lift up and lower back down. This is level 1, and you are more than welcome to stay here if it feels really nice for your glutes and hamstrings. If you would like a little bit more out of this movement, what we can do now is add in a heel raise. So what I mean here is you're going to lift your hips up towards the ceiling, and now watching my heels, I'm going to come right up onto my toes. Then I'm going to lower my heels down with control and lower my hips all the way back down. So breathing in to prepare, and then exhale, lift the hips up high, lift the heels off the ground, control the lower down of the heels, and then bring my hips all the way back down. So this is level 2. This is more of a challenge here. Lift, then lower, then lower. Let's go 6 more here. Peel the spine off the ground, lift the heels, lower the heels, lower the body. And lift, lower, lower. And 4 more now. Lift, heels lower, hips lower. And 3, lift, lower, and lower. And let's go just 2 more. Lower and lower. And one last one here. Lift, lower, lower. Okay, now this next series here, you are more than welcome to stay with double leg glute bridges if you find them easier and you would just much prefer to stick with double legs. Or you can start with singles, and if you start to find the singles really tough, you can move into a double leg glute bridge. Now, can I give you one little tip, one little side note? You can all take a break for a second. If you are finding the singles really tough, but you don't want to go back into double leg glute bridges, like you'd like an extra little challenge, think about load bearing more so on one foot and then just going on the tiptoes of the other foot. So that is a variation if you are struggling too much with the single leg exercises, but you still want to progress yourself a little bit further with single leg loading. Okay. For those of you that are ready to join me for a little bit of a toughie with this single leg work, what I'd like you to do now is just bring your right leg up to a tabletop position, so as if you could rest a little roast dinner on top of your shin. Now, when you're ready, pressing through your left heel, you're going to bring your hips up and lower back down. So the leg that's on the ground is doing all the work here. Right leg is at a tabletop, lifting and lowering. Now, this is not easy, so you should be really feeling the glute of the left leg working. If you feel your quad working, you might be really tight through your quad, so this will still be a really beneficial movement for you. And if you feel your hamstring, you need to move your heel a little bit closer towards your bottom. So let's go for 4 more here. Lift and lower, keeping that knee just over hip height. And 2. Okay, now for the real challenge. Can you lift up and hold? Now we're going to straighten the right leg away, then bring it back in. And straighten it away and bring it back in. See here, my left hip is well and truly off the ground. 4, really plant the weight through that left heel. 3, and 2. And last one here, well done. Lower those hips down. Now I'm going to bring my left leg up to a tabletop and we're going to go into single leg glute bridges. So come and join me as soon as you're ready. Lift and lower. Better make it time friendly. You've got to balance a bowl of porridge balancing on your left shin bone. Actually, it's still too hot for that. You've got a delicious fruit salad resting on your left shin bone. And we've got 5 and lower, and 4 and lower, and 3, really feeling that right glute working, and 2, and last one here. Fantastic. Now lift up and hold if you can. Now I'm going to bring my left knee in towards my chest and then straighten away. And left knee comes in and straighten that left leg away. Excuse me, puppy, I'm demonstrating. Good. Knee comes in and press away. Excellent work. And knee comes in and push away. And you've got 3 to go. And 2. And last one here. Fantastic work. Beautiful. Okay. Rock those knees from side to side. Now, if you've got your band handy, and I don't know, there's mine all the way over here, I'm going to take you through a couple of glute stretches just for that series that we just did. So straighten out through your right leg now and take your left heel up towards the ceiling with the band wrapped around it. So I like the band wrapped around the arch of my foot, and then I grab the band nice and taut so that I can get a really nice stretch through the hammy. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to keep the leg long and straight and point the toes back towards my kneecap so that I get a really nice stretch through the whole back of my leg. So a really nice stretch through that hammy to begin with. Now I'm going to soften the knee a little bit more and pull the leg in even closer so that I get a bit of a deeper stretch through that entire series of muscle bellies there. So really enjoy a nice long stretch. You might prefer to have your upper arms resting on the mat just to work within that range. Now for something a little different, hold on to the strap nice and taut and see if you can hold it in two hands, but two hands holding the one strap, and then bring your leg right over towards the opposite side of the room and open your left arm out to the side so that you get a really nice stretch through the side of your hammy, maybe and a little bit through your glute as well. Enjoy that stretch. And then come all the way back over and we'll switch legs. So now your right leg is long up towards the ceiling and then pull in. So you point your toes back towards your kneecap and you should get a nice neural stretch through the back of the leg. Hold that for about 3 to 4 breaths. And then when you're ready, soften the knee a little bit more and get a little bit more of a pull so you can get more of a stretch through your hamstring muscle there. And then when you're ready, bring your leg over towards the other side of your body. So I like holding on with two hands so that I've got a little bit more control and I'm getting a really nice stretch through this area here. And I can take my right arm out to the side if I want to. However, I do like to hold on with two hands. Personal preference, it's up to you, whatever you choose. Beautiful work. Okay, don't get too excited, we're not done yet. We have got one more delicious little ab series to finish off this Pilates for this morning. Now, listen closely with this next little series here because I've got lots of variations that will be different for you all and depending on what you like the sound of for your body today. So level 1, this is the nicest, lightest option, is always keeping one foot on the mat and alternating single knee pull-ins to your chest. So alternating one knee in, then the other knee in. That is level 1, and then the second series will look like this with level 1 still. So just going into a single leg extension, alternating legs. Now that is for level 1 if you want to take it nice and easy on your lower back today. Remember, you can also put that towel underneath your sacrum to make it a little bit easier on your lower back and help your core work that little bit more. Level 2, so the harder option, is going to be bringing your legs into a tabletop position. And for those of you that have done Pilates with me before and know that you can lift up through your upper body, come and join me for doing that during the series. But if you are not comfortable with lifting your head off the mat, that's completely fine. Okay, now I'm going to take you through the movements first of all, and then you can come and join me for a series. So the first part will look like this. So it's single knee pull-ins towards your chest. So you can copy me just to learn the movements for the moment, and then we'll go through a proper set in a moment. So you'll see I've got two hands on one shin, and then I switch, two hands on the other shin. And my feet are never drooping down towards my bottom. Then the second part of the movement looks like this. Long straight legs, long scissor arms, and I hold on to the back of my leg, to my hamstring, and I switch. So one side, then the other. The final movement is both knees into the chest, and then both legs stretch away. Both knees into the chest, legs reach up high towards the ceiling. Okay, so they are the three movements, and we're doing 2 rounds of 10 of each exercise. So when you're ready, imprinting through your spine, either bringing your feet to tabletop or keeping your feet down, and let's go now. So we've got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, you can have your head up or head down, whatever feels best. 4, should be able to move your neck freely if you've got your head up. 2, and 1. Let's pause here and straighten your legs like long scissor arms. And now, little snip snips, we've got 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now we tuck up into a little ball, and then we reach long. And tuck up into a little ball, and reach long. Let's go for 7, and reach. And 6, and reach, and 5, and reach, and 4, and reach, and 3, and 2. You should be feeling your tummy. And last one here. Excellent work. Okay, breathe for a 15-second break. For those of you that are on level 1, I should clarify, for the level 1, for the final movement, see if you can go both knees in and then rest the feet back down. And both knees in and rest the feet back down. Okay, let's go, last round. So when you're ready, either feet on the floor or floating your legs up to a strong tabletop position, And let's go knee to chest for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And now I'm going to straighten this leg up towards the ceiling, and I'm going to alternate scissor arms for 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then both knees into chest, tuck up into a little ball, and then reach, and 9, and reach, and 8, and reach, and 7, and 6, and 5, and 4, only 3 to go, 3, and 2, and let's go, last one, and rest. Fantastic work. Arms out wide, ladies and gentlemen, you have done your Pilates for a Friday. So rock those knees from side to side. Really enjoy a really nice stretch through the sides of the body. And then when you're ready, straighten your legs out as long as your mat or your floor that you're lying on. Bring your arms up overhead and imagine that someone's pulling you from your big toes and your little middle fingers as long as you could possibly be. So really lengthen through your spine. Deep breath in and exhale all the way out. Fantastic work, everyone. I hope you really enjoyed that session, and I hope you have an even better Friday now because you've moved so beautifully. Thank you all so much, and I hope you have a lovely weekend. Bye.